Live, yep. Oh. 1, 2. All right. Let's just add in one second. We just have to add one comment in here and then we can get going. Please bear with me, we have just a few things we need to sort out. I'll be with you in a moment. We have to just put this in here so you can have all the details in one web page. That should be it. And there we go. And that's pinned. Okay. Right, so what we're also going to do is, if you have questions, because I can't go through all the stuff that is being streamed because there's a lot, so I would ask you to be so kind, and if you have a question, to post it as a question so that I can then respond to that. All right. See if I can see the questions listed here somewhere. Should be able to see those. Okay, yeah, you got the questions. All right, so we've kind of expected that we'll have pretty much the same questions through the whole stream. So what we did is we created an FAQ. So the pinned comment, you can see it on top of the list of the comments. That's the tinyurl.com. Pretty much everything will be explained in there, so you should be fine. I'll be reading your comments as well in between the build, as much as I can, but I'm not going to repeat over and over the same answers, because I know you're all asking about how much does it cost and when is it going to be released and so on. So you can find all those details in the FAQ. it's not as simple as explaining, oh, well, it's this and that's that, and we're releasing unlimited amounts, because we're a small company, so we can't make hundreds of those. But we've got two of my technicians in the chat as well, my engineers for software and electronics, and they will be helping you if you have any questions to answer. So we'll start off with the assembly. I'm just showing you here a few parts that we need for the build, but we all start off with the carbon fiber parts. These are, for example, the PCBs. We have all this custom made, and it's all hand built in the UK. So obviously the PCBs are not made in the UK, but we design these and have them then shipped into the UK, and then we do the assembly, fulfillment and shipping as well. Okay, so let me start off with the assembly. What you see here, by the way, are the different paddle designs that we will include with the wheel. You can have carbon fiber paddles. We will install these by default, so they will be the ones you get with the wheel straight up. You can go ahead and run, or you can use these alternatives. We have also extensions and other spacers in there that will allow you to adjust the distance for the paddles to where you want to have them. And if you can recognize all of this, this is SimMagic. So we buy the SimMagic shifter and clutch paddles, and we install that. Our electronics that we design interface with the Hall effect sensors on these. So let's start off with the base construction. What you have on the back of the wheel is a 5mm carbon fiber plate. This takes a lot of the load, not everything, because on top of the plate we will have a MagLink connector, and that's also from SimMagic. We're using the same one. So you can tell this is going to take a serious beating. A lot of the stuff that I'm going to build now is already pre-done, so that it doesn't take the full time. So for example, we aren't doing any soldering, we aren't doing any cables, and I've done a lot of work already ahead of time so that we can get through this stream quicker. So 25mm spacers, these are screwed in. You have 6 spacers in total to keep it separate. This is the front plate, again a 5mm carbon fiber plate. With polyurethane cast grips on here. This is the main body, so we're going to now install the rear plate into the main body. This is the only part that is a print, an FDM print, but this is a carbon fiber print. It doesn't have any structural strengths, because everything is transferred through the spaces here. And this acts just as a sandwich layer in which we can mount the electronics in. If we were to do this out of aluminium, the cost of the wheel would be substantially higher, and also the construction itself would be a different construction. We wouldn't have to work with a carbon fiber front plate. We would be able to actually use the aluminium enclosure to make the whole thing work. All right, so we're going to screw this in. Everything here is very solid. Let me get these done. So we've got a total of 10 bolts here to screw the carbon fiber plate into. Because I've just seen a comment asking, hello, I do social media content with 200,000 views. That's Racing by Lawrence. Can I get one wheel for free? The answer is no, you can't get one for free. And it's not because we're being mean. It's because we don't have enough. We're a very small team. Read through the FAQ that is pinned in the comment section. We will also put the FAQ online under the product page soon enough, and then you'll understand why. There is a waiting list, as M. Bakosh 82 is telling you. There are over 1,600 people on that list, and we honestly don't have an idea if we're even going to be able to get through that list in a reasonable amount of time. So yes, it's quite a problem. When you're a small company, scaling and keeping the price low, which is something we really want to do. We don't want to end up charging you over the top. That's quite a problem. If you're a bigger company, you can scale quite quickly, and then those things are easy. As you can see, we ensure that all of this is really, really tight. All right. So now, next step, we are going to put in the shifter paddles in the back. I've got these already pre-built and pre-assembled, so it's pretty easy. As I said, these are the MagLink ones, the SimMagic ones. That's the clutch paddle, and here's the actual shifter. All very nicely dampened. As you can see here, there's a little rubber damper. So they are actually very silent and very tactile. It's really, really satisfying, to say the least. And then in order to have decent acoustics so that it doesn't slam into the wheel, you of course need a relative large mass on the back. And this is what we have here because of the 5mm back plate. And now we put this in here. And just get the right screwdriver. The question whether it's basically impossible to get, well, no, it's not impossible to get, but we've got a lot of people who are waiting for it, and some of them have been waiting for a period of, I don't know, 10 months or so. So they are going to get served first. We want to be fair to everyone. That's important. The idea, of course, is, the idea, of course, is to grow and scale the production if it becomes popular enough. So it's not like we don't want to make more, we would like to, but to make more and keep the production at the level that we want it to be in terms of quality, we have to employ in the UK, because we make these in the United Kingdom. And this is a costly affair. It's not as cheap as getting them done in China. And we're doing this in the UK because we do believe in having the manufacturing very close to where the distribution is. Because if you do have a warranty or if there's a problem with it, we're really quick. This is the one thing that most people know about MVH Studios. We really are as fast as possible with warranty repairs. All right, so here we go. That's our rear all installed. So the next thing we do is going to put the rotary encoders in. Now keep in mind, what I'm showing you here is pre-production. So these cables, for example, will be custom made so that we don't use any heat shrink or any connection. So at the moment, this is just to show you the build, and we will be having them pre-crimped so we don't have to do this with any soldering joints. This has to be led through here. There we go. What about child labor? That's very funny. Yeah, I don't know. By the way, if you live in the area, where we are. We're in Hampshire, near Petersfield in the UK, about 25 minutes drive away from Goodwood Racing Circuit. That is where they do the Goodwood Revival and Festival of Speed. You might have heard of it. Well, if you're interested, please come by, because we are always looking for people to help us expand the business. So we are open to hire new employees. All right, so here's the next guide. Is it compatible with Xbox? No, it's not compatible with Xbox. It won't be compatible with Xbox because Xbox requires a certification chip in the wheel, not in the wheelbase. There will be later, at a later date, we will be releasing a particular to console geared version of this wheel, and that will then work on Xbox within limitations. That means, for example, the wheelbase has to be an Xbox wheelbase. So the G920, G923 Xbox, these would work as an example. Thrustmaster also has the certification in the wheelbase, and therefore those will be available. PS5, yes, of course, not a problem. Same thing. This wheel is the Pro, meaning it's for PC. So you're not going to be able to use this for anything else other than PC gaming. But as I said, at a later date, we'll have a PlayStation. Regarding how much it costs, it's all in the FAQ. Please have a look at the pinned comment so you know. All right, so we're going to now install all the rotary encoders. Just to give you an idea, that's how tight the detent. I don't know if you can hear this on the microphone. That is the detent on our encoders. These are high quality encoders, and they work very well. Yes, Fanatec PC, of course. It's all in the FAQ, by the way, so please do have a look. We've made sure that every wheelbase is listed in there. Now, we need far longer to build this normally, but as I said, all this is pre-wired, and it's just to make it easier on the stream, and you get a better idea of what's in the wheel and how it's built. All right. You could use this on a Moza with USB. Yes, correct. You could use this on Moza, no problem at all. Yeah, Logitech Pro on PC, absolutely not a problem. What's that? Don't you think it's unfair sending emails to 100 people when person 99 could beat person 3 to 6 in a discount? I think it would be fair to send first 20 people an email and move on. So here's the thing. It's very difficult. When we started off with making this, we seriously didn't think we're going to have this much interest. The waiting list was good when we had, I don't know, 100, 200 people who were interested, and suddenly now it's 1,600 people. So yeah, I don't think it's perfectly fair, but it is as good as we can make it in terms of fairness. So that's where we are. That's what we're going to do. We have to do it this way. So this is our heart of the wheel. We design all of this ourselves. And this is we call it the GOAT. It's the greatest of all times PCB for us. This will do a lot of things. I'm not going to tell you all the details here. Suffice to say that it is the start of us being able to produce a lot of amazing designs. Previously, it would have been quite an issue to do something like this because it required a custom PCB for every wheel. And we've decided to go modular. That has a disadvantage because, as you can see, there's lots of cables involved. But this now allows us to be very flexible. So what I can tell you is that what you see here will be used then in the Red Bull and the AMG version of the F1X Pro. And so this took the longest time to develop. So we're going to connect now the MagLink paddle shifter and clutch modules. You can see that here. All right. There you go. And of course the PCB needs to be tightened down. Try to be as organized as possible for this stream so it doesn't take too long. So there's spare stock that the purpose you don't wait another 10 months. Yeah, I mean, we absolutely will scale. Read the FAQ, please. Then you'll understand how and when we're going to have more units available. Then you get an idea. You don't need to scroll. Just go to the pinned comment. It's right there. Here we go, nearly there. So now we need to do the rotary connections. And you can see the 7 rotary connectors that we have here. There is a chance that we're going to have more than 7 encoders at a later date or a later model. But as of right now, we're with 7. And that being said, this, for most people, 7 encoders is already crazy. So to put in even more encoders, it's doable, but ultimately you're going to have so many inputs on the wheel that for a small fraction of people it might be useful. For the majority of the people it's going to be overkill, and you're paying for features or encoders that you're not going to use. So rather than increasing the price and the complexity of the build, we always try to put in what is absolutely necessary rather than overloading it with features. That's also why we can make the price this low. Otherwise it would cost, as you know, replica wheels cost massive amounts. It's a completely different story. Do the parts make close to the equivalent of the price? Well, no, obviously. We also have to make a living, and my labor isn't free. Neither are my employees. So yes, you have to consider that there's costs in there. We haven't even started things like packaging, warranty claims that you have to be able to cover, you know, additional costs for products. So no, you can't do it one-to-one. If you want to do your own, be my guest. It's absolutely, you know, there are many build options out there for DIY, and you can try and go cheaper. Right, so we've got all this in. Next thing is the mag plate on the back. So now we're going to install the MagLink connector. And so as you can tell, this is a nice proper steel plate. Sorry, aluminium, I think, or close to. And that is now your mounting plate for your quick release systems. Just to show you what that would look like. So when you get the wheel, this will be pre-installed. But if you then, of course, need to adapt the wheel to your system, then you'll take your quick release. So let's take one of the QR2s that I have here. So for example, this is the Fanatic QR2. We will be offering these quick releases as well on our site. So if you want to, you can purchase it from us, or you can buy it from whatever wheelbase provider wheelbase you're using. And so what you would do is therefore you mount it onto, you take the plate out, the plate will be held in place with these 4 bolts. You take that out and then you mount your quick release system onto the back plate. And you'll see it has different hole patterns and slides, so you can fit literally any system on there. You'll always have the right connection possibilities to mount it onto the plate. I actually have to look that up now. Yeah, there you go. Because obviously we do this not only for Fanatec, but also for other systems. Did we put funky switches on here? No, we didn't. There are no funky switches on this build. The reason we decided not to go for funky switches was mainly a cost factor. So we did consider it, but it comes down to price, because it complicates the build quite a bit. So you were I think someone, do I need to buy a Moser quick release? No, you do not need to buy a Moser quick release. This is your Moser, it's an energy quick release, so very common. And yeah, basically same thing, connect it onto the back plate and you're good to go. So it's nothing different. Will it work with the RS50? Yep, and it's in the FAQ. You can read that up, it's all there. There are compromises we made to the wheel. For example, what's the crack with the Panda? Well, it's a joke, obviously. I mean, technically you could put it into a Panda, but nothing's going to work on it. Also, I'd like to see you park with this. Yeah, there will be a replay available, no worries. We will, it's going to be available on our site. Do you need a cable to connect to the PC? Yes, but it's provided. That is the MagLink connector. I will show you when we get to the end of the build. Yeah, the Pro is only for PC. Okay, so that's our back plate. As you can see, this is bomb-proof. So in terms of load distribution when you're driving, you're looking at a 5 mil, I think it's a 5 or 4 mil plate. I'm not actually sure, to tell you the truth. Let's have a look. That's a 4 mil plate. And then on top of that, we have a 5 mil carbon fiber plate. Well, I mean, you know, this is fantastic. And that's the shifter sound here. Very nice. And then the clutches feel great. Anyway, can't fault SimMagic. This is fantastic. We simply reverse engineered the electronics to make it work with our electronics. And that's all there is to it. All right. Yeah, I forgot to mention, of course, all of our rotary knobs are custom-made aluminum and anodized. They're all done in the same color scheme as on the actual F1 wheel. About the stickers, yeah, that's in the FAQ too, by the way. Stickers are included. Let me just continue with the build, or we won't get too far at this rate. But yeah, I can show you stickers, you know, all of that's going to be included, and button labels and so on. All right, so now let's tighten the rotary knobs. Now, just so you know, I'm doing this quickly. There's actually a nut that goes here to hold it in place, and I'm too lazy to put that in there. After all, this is just a demo wheel for you guys so you can see it. There we go. This actually needs to go in here a little more, and then it sits right. There you go. Okay, so next step. Let's see, how much have we cleared from this build? We're going to install the rotary plate. So we're just going to connect the rotary plate. Rotary plate, this is basically the encoders that we have here. same encoders that we use here. Very nice detent. I really love that. They just absolutely feel incredible. And then of course with full aluminium knobs and rotaries, it just is fantastic. So yeah, as you can tell, I really love this build. I'm not going to lie. It was definitely labor of love, but also it's not. It's by far one of our most complex builds. But as I said, this is a start for building other wheels where we're going to use the same hardware. All right, so now we are. Yours, can I assemble a wheel myself? You can assemble it yourself, but you better get your soldering iron ready because you have to do all the cabling and wiring and soldering as well. So there's quite a bit that goes in there. All right, so now we're going to do the button plates. Oh, wait, before we do the button plates, I forgot we have to do the flip switches. Yeah, just to remind you, if you have questions, please feel free to put them into the chat. We've got my 2 engineers helping out with the answers. Can we order and collect from the store? Yeah, I mean, absolutely. The store is where we build them, so you're more than welcome. Plus, we have a full motion rig where you can go and test it while you're at it. Not a problem. Do you guys send anything other than Moser QI for buy the QR from you? Have? Well, I'm not quite sure about that question, but anyway, feel free. If you have any other, support related questions to existing products, write support. Okay, so button plates. These are backlit, LED, RGB as well, so we'll be able to change the backlighting color. And the thing with the backlighting was originally, I'll be very honest here, that was an afterthought. I did not want to put backlighting into this wheel. It is an option. We had that planned from the get-go in our PCB. You can see it here, BG LED. So it wasn't that we didn't think about having it, but it wasn't meant for this wheel. What I really wanted to do was make the wheel look as close as possible to the real McLaren wheel. Within, what we can do, limitations and compromises. One of those is, if you don't know how these wheels are actually made in an F1 factory, they are done with a carbon fiber layer that is put into a mold. Then that mold, multiple sheets of pre-preg carbon fiber, are then molded under a lot of pressure, then that's cut, and then you have basically 2 halves that come together. And that gives you the strength and rigidity, but at the same time it weighs next to nothing. The problem with this is that is extremely labor intensive, super expensive, and yeah, not something we can do. However, there's 2 ways around this, and that's how most manufacturers do it. One is you work around carbon fiber plates, and that's what we do here. And the carbon fiber plate sandwiches something that holds the plates together, and that then is your rigid body. The other version is to make all of this, the whole back part as well as this, out of aluminium. That's also an option, but as I said, if we were to CNC this out of aluminium, the cost would be substantially higher. I mean, we're talking 1,000+ pounds, okay, just to give you an idea. You can compare this to other manufacturers, then you'll see what I mean. All right, so as I said, it was an afterthought, but we managed to make it work. And the trick is we use a light pipe. So I'll show that in a second. Let's first install the cabling for the button plate. And we try to do this as tidy as possible, of course, now for the build. Oh, I forgot to mention, we have to, of course, connect the mag plate, the mag link. There we go. Mag link's connected. And you don't want to be jamming anything, so take your time. I say to myself, because obviously I'm doing the build. Sim hub and custom dashboard, yes, of course. That's all in the FAQ, by the way. Pinned comment on the top. Wiener Schnitzel joined. Well, hello, Wiener Schnitzel. I am actually from Vienna. So, servus. I live in the UK now, but yeah, I'm actually Austrian. So there you go. Little trivia for you. And let me see. Do I connect this LED out? So this goes. Wait. Here you can see how, if I don't pay attention, I get things wrong. Here we go. And then we go into here. Thank you, Martin, for this amazing design. Ignore the sarcasm. Oh, Rotterdam. Okay, so you just like Wiener Schnitzel. All right. All right, so we still have to optimize a little bit the cable routing here. But as I said, we will have the cables perfectly pre-crimped and assembled. So then you won't have anything flying around. What's that? Minimum Newton meter you need for this. What's max Newton? Max? I don't know, until your wrists break. This is bomb proof. I'm not kidding. There's nothing, I don't think you can break this. Don't worry about it. So that's solid. What else is there? What wheel is this compatible with? Well, wheelbase. Yeah, no, it's compatible with literally everything on the market that does PC. Go and check the pinned comment at the top. We have a full FAQ. Implement custom dashboard? No, absolutely not. This is a sim hub setup. I'll show you in a second as soon as we get to that part. All right, so we've got this. Now we need to install the light pipes. These are our custom light pipes. They go on top here. And this enables us to bring the LED lighting around the two LEDs that are around the buttons, bring them up through the carbon fiber plate to illuminate the buttons themselves. Yeah, no, we get custom cables from our suppliers in China. So we buy these in bulk. Don't worry. This is just to show the build because I haven't received the delivery for these cables yet. So I'm doing what we have here. Does the trick for now, it doesn't matter. PS5 support, yes, as I explained, it's in the FAQ for a later version that we're going to bring out. Okay, so here we go. That is basically it. Light pipes are installed now. What you haven't seen is I'm skipping all of that. We, of course, have to flash a firmware onto all our PCBs. So that's all been done already. I don't want to bore you during the build. This is now the screen module. I'll show you what that looks like. That's our USB interface. So we connect that to the Vocor screen on the back. This is a 3D printed frame to hold the screen in place. And then, of course, we have the LED light bar. And then on top of the LED light bar, again printed all in carbon fiber PLA composite materials, we have a light guide so that it doesn't bleed through. Okay. Does the firmware have any cool Easter eggs? I don't know. You will have to ask Dexter. Dexter323i is our super software engineer. He will tell you about if there is anything. I expect he'll be trying to put something in. I know him. Why not? Maybe a mini game? I have no idea. We will see where we are. So yeah, all this now is connected into our GOAT motherboard. And then all of this is now screwed in. Now it's very important to keep those cables tidy. Cable management in general is a pain in the butt, but it's a necessity. Okay, so now we screw this in. Okay. Shipping worldwide? Yeah, we ship worldwide. There are exceptions. We don't ship to every country, but we ship to many, many countries. You'll have to go to checkout to find out which ones we ship to. If you want to know, although you can't put this wheel into your checkout because you're not on the waiting list or you haven't been contacted, just put anything into your basket, and you can then try the checkout and see what happens. Now, something that I'm not doing here in this build, usually we work with cotton gloves, and the protector on the screen would still be on. I'm just showing you this for the build. Obviously, we need to keep this all dust-free and clean, and we usually have a blower to keep this all clean while we build it. That's really important. So, next thing, we need to put in the buttons. These buttons are translucent. Okay, so now don't crucify me if I get the button order wrong. We have labels for these buttons to make the wheel look absolutely identical to the real thing. That doesn't mean you have to use these labels. We just wanted it to look really as close as possible to the real thing. This might not make any sense for sim racing, and it depends very much on the game that you're actually in. Maybe you're going to use different buttons here than Piastri and Lando. But I have all of these just to show you. This is all very high quality vinyl, which you will be able to apply quite easily. There's nothing special to it, just nice quality stickers. These are the sticker sheets that we're going to be shipping with. I think we will probably pre-apply, but it's up to you. We might not pre-apply the bottom sticker, which goes over here where the rotaries are. We probably will. Yeah, I think we will, because you want it to be as tidy as possible. On the other hand, we have made two versions of this, just to show you how much we care about it being real. So in the real wheel, you wouldn't have a 16 position encoder. It would be less, actually. I think it's 14 and then it turns to Strat. I'll show you what that looks like. I don't know if I have... No, I don't think I have the other version here. But we will ship both of those. So if you want it to look like the real thing, you can. If you prefer using, according to the steps that we have, which are 16, then you use these. And yeah, we'll leave the top ones to... you can stick whatever you want on there. We're not going to do that. And... this is the alternative button design, so you'll be able to choose. You don't have to go with the ones that we have here. If you want to use, usual sim racing buttons, you can. You can see this is a beautiful, high quality, high tack print. And they are light transparent, so that's the important stuff. So let's put on the buttons. As I said, this might not make any sense for sim racing, but it makes sense in the real world, so we decided to make it look exactly like the real thing. Something that personally, because I'm not much of an F1 racer, I am a fan of F1, and I'm particularly a fan of the F1 engineering, but I find there's far too many buttons on a wheel anyway. So, to me, that's more than enough. How can we contact the team for any questions about R&D for a university project? Well, it's very simple. We have a contact page on the website. Just contact us. Email, that's the best way. Okay, so we've got the buttons in, light pipes, screen. Let me see, am I missing anything? Rear clips, okay, yeah, that's okay. So now we are basically down to the last few things. let me see what we have here. So just to show you, this is a plate I've been using already for assembly, pre-assembly, so ignore all the scuff marks or whatnot. But this is the polyurethane PX60A that we use. It's very grippy. We have a nice little octagon shaped pattern in here. We mold these ourselves, by the way. This is not made somewhere in China. Here you go. Very nice. And then we have our thumb rests, as you can see here. Nice grippy pattern. This is an SLA print, so not FDM. You can't make this with an FDM printer, just to give you an idea. And it's all ABS, so super, super solid and flexible. And okay, so we've come down to the actual main plate. Now we put this in here. What's important is to align everything, because we don't want to damage any of the parts. There you go. Okay, there we go. It's all close together. We have enough tolerance. Checking on the actuation. That looks all good. So now comes the part where we connect the front plate with the back plate. Now this is done through the 25mm spacers that we have in there. And that is the bomb-proof connection that we have now between front and back. And so there is absolutely no way that, well, you won't, there's no flex, nothing. This is rock solid. And I'll show you something very sneaky. Sneaky. It took me a while, let's be honest. It's not sneaky, it's just something I wanted to do. If you look at the actual F1 wheel, the McLaren wheel itself, there's not a single screw anywhere on the front of the wheel. That was really important to me. I didn't want to see any bolts. I wanted it to look as tight and as close as possible to the real thing. And in order to do that, I needed to hide the actual connection bolts in areas where the McLaren wheel allows me to do that, right, with parts. So that's why you see them hidden, and they don't show up anywhere on the front of the wheel. I like clean designs, and I think I've achieved that with this. So 6 bolts in total over the 6 spaces, and we're getting a nice solid sandwich between the front and the back 5mm carbon fiber plate. How long will you have to wait for the Ferrari version? So in regards to all the next wheels, I've done a mini poll on what should we do as the next version, because as I have put on the page, you know, we're making the McLaren first, and then we're looking at all the leading team wheels as well. And this comes down to 2 things. One, which ones I like to make. And also at Discord we had a little poll, and it turns out most people want the AMG wheel. So we will make the AMG next. I can tell you this much. There you go. That's going to happen next. And then after that, most likely Red Bull. And then after that, I think we'll look at the Ferrari. The reason why we're doing it in this order is because there already is a Thrustmaster Ferrari wheel. And I think it's okay. It's different construction and so on, and it's probably not, you know, they do it differently, but it looks good. So not something we need to do because it's already on the market, and we do want to make the wheels that other people don't make. This is also a reason why we decided to go with making a McLaren, because there is nobody who makes this wheel. There's one guy who just recently, Kodai Racing, you can look them up, has released a build and I have to say it's amazing. Really, really nicely done. But price without, he's not building it. It's a DIY project. If you just buy the parts, you're looking at £1,200. That's without it being built. No shipping included either. So it gives you an idea how much we're undercutting everyone with this. The Ferrari from Conspit, yeah, I think it's nice. I just don't like purple. And I've seen there's a lot of people who actually modify it to not look purple. But yeah, it definitely, Conspit is right up there. Now, there's, Moza, Sim Magic, they all do their own wheels and they do their own designs. It's not something I personally like, but okay. I don't have to like it. Some people do. So, flip switches, these are momentary on this side, and we've got a momentary here and permanent here, although that we can change. We haven't 100% decided if we want the same left and right. But yeah, that's definitely something that you can then modify within the game what you want to do with it. These are our button plates. Again, SLS, fantastic quality. It's just next level. Took a while, but I would say I've mastered the how to make a texture. Because if you look closely, this is not an MJF print, as you will see on many of those wheels. Unless it's an injection mold. If it's an injection mold, then you can do whatever you want with patterns and textures. But if it's an MJF, so HP, very expensive printers that work with a powdered sinter system, all of this would have this pattern. But as you can tell, I don't have it everywhere. If I want smooth, I can have smooth. If I want pattern, I have patterns. It's just completely different in terms of quality. And of course, this is ABS, so indestructible. These fit right over here. We have a special lock system here that ensures that the plate stays in place. And you can see I'm not being gentle with this. Checking the buttons. Yes, it's a very nice click. Here you go. I hope you can hear that. Same on the other side. Yeah, come on. Need to align it so that the lock locks the plate. Here we go. The next wheel will be an AMG. So yeah, there we go. Then we have the button plates on the top. I see there's a comment of somebody asking 719 for a wheel question mark. I'm afraid so. You can try other sim racing companies and have a look what a replica wheel will cost. Okay, so we're nearly there, not much left. I'm going to now install the screen. That's the last thing we do. We make this as well, by the way, so the masking, everything, and we have a 3mm connection, so 3mm tape around it. There you go. Now this is just because I've built and taken this apart many times. Obviously it's just a demo plate, but here for everyone, because I know that people love this. So I made a video of it and people really dig it. So here you go. This is removing the foil. I hope you like that. All right. So next thing would be to install the sticker. I am not going to do this now because it's going to take too long. You need to align it and so on. You will just have to trust me that this fits now. Oh, well, okay. All right, I'll put the sticker on. Oh, boy. So we'll leave this up to you whether you want to whether you want to apply the sticker yourself, whether you want it pre-applied. We might put that into the order confirmation and ask what you prefer. Yeah, taking that foil off is satisfying, I agree. Gotta be very careful with this, but until you don't press it down, you're okay to rearrange it. You can see why we might offer to pre-apply this for some people. This might be a bit too much, too fiddly. And it's not the end of the world if you press it down. You can usually still straighten it out if necessary. I really recommend using tweezers or something that won't leave marks. You can see already I'm making a hash out of this because I'm under camera pressure, but you can lift it off and then rearrange it. One way to do this is to align it towards the edge on one side and then work your way over to the other side as you do it. What we're going to do is we will create a template, by the way, because I haven't done that yet, to stick it. You can see you can pull it off, put it back on again. If you've ever seen someone do vinyl on a car, that's pretty much how this is done. Okay. Oh God, I'm gonna make a mess out of it today, I know. Alright. And then we need to heat treat this so that we get the wrinkles out as well. I'll get there. There we go. Yeah. All right. As you can tell, you need a little bit of finesse here. If you have something called a spudger, which I don't have on my desk here, you can get the edges in here nicely. All right, so si però dagli adhesivi sul volante di genere. Oh, I'm sorry, my Italian is rubbish, but it has something to do with the stickers. After the live stream, could you post an image with the most frequently asked questions you will find in the pinned comment? It's the FAQ right on the front of the comment section. Can we see the back? Yeah, of course you can see the back. There you go, that's the back of the wheel. Forgot to put the caps on, so these come on as well. 1 second. Oh, we haven't done that. There we go. This is the back. And where's the other one? And there's the other one. There we go. This will be clipped in, so you don't have to worry about it. It sits there and doesn't come off unless you pry it open. So yeah, there you go. You can see it from all directions. And where are we now? Oh yeah, knobs. Need to put those on as well. Aluminium, by the way, of course. We will be providing different stickers, so you can choose what you want on those. In terms of colors, the real wheel has, well, they change it, so it's not always the same. Sometimes you have different colors on these, and we will provide different ones that you can choose from. And now we need to tighten. Is this your only wheel that's RS50 compatible? No. In fact, all our wheels will be RS50 compatible, but this is the first one. No, we're not going to add any buttons to the back plate. Not for this version of the wheel. Maybe someday down the line. I think we have enough combos. I mean, you've got a total of 10 buttons on the front. You've got another 2 each side, so that's already 14. You have 7 rotaries, which, up to you, in SimHub can be configured to literally anything you want. So you could have a mode switch as well. As you know, there's so many options here. You won't run out of ideas. I don't think you need much more than that. We'll see. Maybe we'll add more. But at the moment, I think that's more than enough. Okay, so let's fire up SimHub just to show you what it looks like. And this, by the way, is the MagLink connector that will be shipped with the wheel. That's included. And you can see this is a hardcore cable. And it's magnetic. So, impossible to damage. And look at this. Ooh, pop. There we go. And the wheel comes to life. There we go. And now, depending on what we have running in SimHub, let's see. Dum, dum, dum. You can change the dashboards to literally anything you want. There we go. So you can, since this is a SimHub wheel, whatever you want on it, you can have it, right? So we have a lovely dashboard on here right now, and you could have whatever you want on it. So this is now fully SimHub compatible. Let me see if I can load up a different dashboard, or maybe we can do a replay. I think we've got a replay I can show. There you go. So that's a replay now from SimHub, and yeah, you know, you can do whatever you want with this. So yeah, there you go. You get the idea. Now go on a rig and do a hot lap. Oh, in fact, my rig is making noises because I think I didn't disconnect it from SimHub. How does it work on Fanatec? Well, we are delivering with the wheel and a force feedback enabler. So you won't have any problems with that. It'll be fully compatible with Fanatec wheels. Will it work on Thrustmaster? Yeah, it'll work on Thrustmaster, absolutely. We will make it work on the T818 and the T598 with a force feedback enabler. You can put whatever you want on here, by the way, just so you know. This is a lovely dash. If you wanted to, let's see, let's change it to something else. You can have, you know, different background. Here you go. I hope, does it show on the camera? Right, let me, so you don't have the light of the reflection. There you go. You know, you can change it to whatever you want. There's absolutely no problem. Background gradient. Wow, this is cool. I do have to admit, lovely dashboard is amazing. It's free. Yeah, you can absolutely install anything you want on there. There's different modules, lap times, and pit wall, multifunction dials, you name it. So yeah, whatever you want, you can have on there. It's absolutely no problem. So yeah, that's it, ladies and gentlemen. Top sticker, if you prefer. That is, after all, the main sponsor for McLaren. It's up to you what you want to put on here. You can have, yeah, any design you want. So I'll just do a few more questions to finish off the build. How does this work with Moza? Well, very simple. You plug it into your PC and you connect it with your Moser quick release. It's simple as that. Xbox. Xbox is a problem, yes. This is a PC, not an Xbox wheel. So, no. Can I click the clutch paddles? Well, the clutch doesn't, there's no sound. Maybe you can hear it. That's about it. And these are the shifters. That's it. So, very nice, very good tactile feel. As I said, these are bolted from SimMagic. To give you an idea, there you go, that's what it looks like. That's the whole paddle shifter kit. Podium shifter? No, you don't need a podium shifter, and it wouldn't work because the electronics are incompatible and the hardware too. So no point in that. I personally think I have the podium shifters just to show you. I don't think that they are, that they're superior in any way. I think they're not bad overall. They're okay, but I would say the actuation, yeah, personally, I like this more. So, not a big difference really. More or less the same, but I have personal preferences. So, price and release, yeah, I mean, we've put everything in the FAQ, please. So, the pinned comment at the top, follow that. What else is there? Any updates on PS5 DD Pro? Yeah, that's in the FAQ as well. As I said, yeah, definitely later, revision. This is PC now, okay? You cannot just, I think some people don't understand. You cannot have SimHub on a console. SimHub is for PC. If you want your own dashboard, if you want to have, all kinds of stuff on your wheel that you configure, that's PC, the end. You cannot have that on console. It just doesn't work. The only other way is to use the PC as a loop in between the console and the wheel. So it works as an intermediary. But if you're already running a PC, why not play on it? You have much more choice in games as well. Far more configuration options. It's just much more, yeah, it's better. That's all I can say. So what else is there? Any final questions? Will this it's in the FAQ, yes. Please have a look for Thrustmaster. We put it all in there. Can you send me an email now? Ethan, it's also in the FAQ when we start sending the emails. So please, tomorrow, 6 p.m. by the way, emails go out. So then you'll be able to. Copyrights, a good question. Well, this is hard to say. This is a replica, obviously, but as you can tell, I didn't put McLaren on here. So it looks like a McLaren wheel. It definitely isn't a McLaren wheel, and I'm not selling it as a McLaren wheel. So copyrights apply only if you're actually copying or using brands or labels without permission, which is not the case here. The only thing that I'm using is MasterCard and Logitech, and I'll tell you this much, they don't mind. They're not going to come after me because of that. So yeah, that's it really. It's as simple as that. Okay, all available on site? Yeah, there won't be a giveaway. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. That's not possible. We have over 1,600 people on a waiting list. If I were to give one away, I think that would be a bit unfair for everyone on the waiting list. 6 clutch paddles? No, I didn't. I did think about it for a second, but honestly, not on this design. In terms of 6 paddles, again, that will increase the price, just like funky switches and whatnot, and will raise the price of this wheel by another £100 easy. The small amount of people who want 6 paddles on the back are the only ones who are going to be happy about this. Everyone else is going to say, why is the wheel so expensive? It's as simple as that. You gotta make compromises somewhere. So what can I say? Okay, ladies and gentlemen, 10 past. So we've done an hour and 10 minutes. You've seen it. You have an idea what it's made out of, how it works, what it does. Yeah, I mean, we'll probably make more of these videos because I see there's a lot of interest down the line. And until then, yeah, I hope that gave you an idea and made clear how strong and how solid this is. This was the main point in showing how we built this wheel, so that you get an idea of the quality. Because obviously this is a pro wheel in our eyes, and therefore demands different materials. It's a different price, no question there. But I mean, you understand, I hope now, why. You know, we're using high quality materials on everything from the rotaries to the buttons to the PCBs, the screen. It's a completely different beast to what we've been building so far. And yeah, me and my engineers are super proud of this. We've worked on this for a long time. And I hope you're gonna like it too. That's all I can say. Right, so that's it. Maybe show you what it looks like without the lights on. I don't know if you can see the backlighting. I've got, of course, lighting in the office, but I think you can see what it looks like. It's very nice. It's subtle. It's adjustable as well. Could be a different color, RGB, as I said. And that's the only compromise I kind of made with the going away from the real F1 wheel, because obviously a real F1 wheel doesn't have any backlighting. But ultimately, yeah, we all race at home in the dark, and it's easier to see, right? So yeah, that's it. I'll put the light back on. There we go, so you can see the details. Any final questions? I'll give you another 2 minutes, and then we'll finish this stream. And I'll make sure the stream is available offline as well. This is your moment to ask me. I don't know what else I can tell you about this, except that we are looking forward to getting this into your hands as soon as possible. Again, is it compatible with Thrustmaster? Yes, and all of that is in the FAQ. What basis it'll run on? Yes, also in the FAQ. It'll run on pretty much anything. Anything else I can tell you? So display won't work on PS5. This is not a PS5 wheel. This is a PC wheel. We are going to have a different version for PS5 and Xbox later. Again, all in the FAQ. So I think that's all been answered. Right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's been a pleasure. I'm off to have my dinner now. And yeah, I hope you have a good weekend. See you